What's going on, all you gamers? Here we are back with Thursday's developer news for Outriders. So if you want to know any updates that the developers have brought to us, then stay tuned. That's coming up next. Welcome back, all you guys and girls. As always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon. But for today, we're going to be going over what the developers update is for today. So what we'll be covering today will be three main topics. The first will be the anti-duplication improvements. The second will be patch news and notes for the new patch that they'll be doing in the next implementation. And thirdly will be ongoing list of currently tracked issues, so pretty much issues that they're already aware of. So first off, for the anti-duplication improvements, which is a bit of a mouthful. Now, they go into this quite a bit, but overall what they're trying to get at is that it is working as intended. They've said that there's been a really nice increase in the fact that people are getting legendary drops a lot more significantly because of the reroll function. So even though it doesn't guarantee that you'll get a new unique item, it is cutting down how long it is between the intervals of you getting new legendary items. Now, there is one outstanding question, and that's what they want everyone's thoughts on. So the system as it currently is rerolls a dropped legendary item once it is identified that you already have on your said character, in your inventory or in your stash. This system, however, can make it a bit harder to farm for an improved version of a particular item. If, for example, you were trying to get a death shield or an amber vault with a higher roll, like a god roll for example, higher firearm power, you would find it a little bit more difficult. So with this, they're proposing that anti-duplication system ignores any gear you currently have equipped when checking whether you currently own an item. So the pros for this, it would make it easier for you to aim for improved versions of your currently equipped gear. The cons, the hunt for unique items could become a little bit longer again, as your currently equipped gear wouldn't factor into the reroll system. Now for me, I must admit I still think that reroll function isn't anywhere near as good as it actually could be. It doesn't narrow the field enough, and if you're just after one or two items, you're still not going to be getting them very easy, especially when you've got that one piece, such as one piece of a gear set you're after. You can really struggle, and doing the tier stuff, the CT15 expeditions and such, doesn't seem to help too much. You may be lucky and get it, but at the moment I don't think this is the best improvement in the world. Let me know what you think in the comments. I for myself think they should leave it as it is and maybe even improve upon it by making everything the same drop rate or something, because I am almost 100% sure that certain gear pieces definitely aren't, such as the helmets for the gear sets. But let me know in the comments what you guys and girls think. Now next up, what they're going over is what you can actually look forward to in the next patch. So as you can see, not really much has actually gone into this week's Thursday update. There's no real patch, they're just saying what they are going to be implementing in the future. So the next one they're going to be trying to implement is improved faster Xbox sign-in process, which I think they've been trying for some time. I don't know how that's going to go. To be perfectly honest, it's not the be all and end all. The people that can't sign in at all, I'm sure they'll definitely want to be able to do it at any rate. Even though it is a little bit slow, I think they've got other bigger fish to fry than that myself. Next up, they've got improved matchmaking to reduce the chance of matching with an AFK player. This is actually quite a positive one. Players that are AFK or not interacting with the game for more than 2 minutes will be automatically removed from the matchmaking queue. However, it goes on to say that if they're in their menus or if they're in their loot box or they're trying to do stuff, you can't do much with that. So if they're modding their gear for 15 minutes or so, they will still be factored in, so you will still have a lot of AFK as such players, but it will help to improve things a little bit. Next, improve the visibility of Broodmother's Surge AoE attacks, the Blue Flames. Now this one has definitely been a pain for quite some time. I've seen a few people, myself included, fall over randomly to this, so knowing exactly where it is will definitely help things if you've got a build that's a little bit squishy. Fix the bug whereby Scrap Grenade would stop working after a cinematic or when rejoining a session. Now this, as far as I'm aware, I think this has been going on for about 3 months now, pretty much the game's release, so it'll be good for people to actually see what that mod can do again, but you will finally be able to use the Scrap Grenade as intended. Resolved an issue with the Technomancer's Borealis set and changed the description to match its new behaviour. Now, I won't go through how they've said it. Basically, it's going to be increase the damage on frozen enemies by a certain percentage. Also, critical hit damage is increased by a certain percentage for all party members for a certain amount of times after the use of Cold Snap. Whereas before it was the same, however it was only applied to increase weapon damage on frozen enemies by a certain amount. So now it's everything, which is nice. After that, they go on to say fix the bug that could cause the Trickster's Hunt the Prey to get stuck on activating. Fix the bug whereby bleed status from the armor mod Bloody Crush would not be inflicted on enemies hit with the Gravity Leap skill. Fix the bug whereby the Devastator's blood donation class node wouldn't work if the player didn't have other active skill life leech nodes or mods. Clarified the description for the Ravenous Locust mod. I thought that one was pretty clear cut. I'll have to go back and have a look at that, but as far as I remember it was pretty much exactly as it sounded. Now, fix the bug whereby dismantling an item might not have displayed the mod preview. I've had that quite a few times myself. Fixed an issue that would cause the in-sync accolade to not properly unlock for client players. Now, I've heard this, if this is the one they're talking about where people couldn't actually achieve getting every single accolade unlock, that is a great thing because it will mean completionists can finally actually get the overall achievement. Fixed an issue that could cause players to not get the proper reward if they completed an expedition during the final second of the reward tier. I've actually had that once myself. It is the strangest thing ever, but yeah, I've had that once. Other bug and crash fixes. Now, next up, they say they're going to rebalance, change the Pyromancer's healthy lifestyle mod and change its description to match its new behaviour. This change should improve survivability while channeling this skill. The new description is Phaser Beam, boost your health regeneration X for the skill duration. The old was Phaser Beam, boost your health regeneration X for Y seconds after the skill ends. Now, this is a strange one because in all honesty at the moment Phaser Beam doesn't really need to worry about this mod. You very well can have it on, but even with that on, I found the one where it regenerates afterwards actually a little bit better, because especially if you've got on the one that gives you the 65% mitigation, then once that ends, afterwards you're getting the regen. So I'm a little bit confused with that one. I thought it was better the old way. They've changed it to it happens whilst the skill is on. But yeah, there must be a reason for it, but I don't think anyone's going to put that mod on Phaser Beam much when the other one is there anyway. Now finally, they go on to list a lot of current issues that they know about that they're still currently tracking. There's stuck at 99% accolade progression, there's Xbox problems related to signing in, the game can stutter when multiple crawlers are on screen, in particular during certain expeditions, certain mods not working, in particular when you're the client during multiplayer sessions. Again, they don't go on to say exactly what ones they are, but it definitely looks like if you're the host. Players dying while a shield is active. This, again, they've been looking into for a little while now, so fingers crossed they will have that one down soon. Trickster's Hunt the Prey does not turn player towards an enemy's back if aiming down sights immediately after activation. I've seen a lot of people annoyed with this. Hunt the Prey does definitely seem to be very hit and miss still. Trickster's Venator's Knife may target a wrong enemy, and Devastator's skill may have inconsistent damage output, particularly when using Bleed and Moaning Winds combo. This one, I don't know, for some reason that worries me a little bit. It sounds like they might nerf it, but maybe I'm just reading into that a little bit. It may just be that their numbers are slightly off. Devastator Armor Mod Despair doesn't increase anomaly damage consistently. See, I really thought that. I've recently been trying out my Devastator, and that was one of the things that I thought was an absolute issue. So it's good to know that they're actually looking into that, because that didn't seem to do much in my case. Devastator's statue set bonus ends after 8 seconds, which is not stated in the description. Journal entries pickups not appearing on secondary characters, and damage block stat on expeditions results screen occasionally appears inconsistently or abnormally low. Now, in all honesty, there's not as much here as I'd like to have seen. The buffs definitely aren't anywhere near the scale that we've seen previously. They're trying to fix the game. You can definitely see they are trying to fix the things that are wrong, but it definitely seems like they're taking their time, and some of the buffs aren't, like the mod for the Pyromancer, for example. some of that isn't really needed. I would think there's other things they should be worrying about more so than that, but maybe that's just myself. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys use that mod, but I would imagine most people just take the one that's going to give them the 65% mitigation straight off now. Also, it doesn't really list any big buffs for characters. I really thought we were going to see something for Devastator. They definitely seem to be getting the bad end of the stick, as well as probably I'd say the Trickster, where his main move, his Hunt the Prey, just seems to be absolutely awful at targeting sometimes, or just an absolute nightmare to use. But yeah, it looks like they've still got their work cut out for them. There's a lot of issues, there's a lot of things they're trying to fix, but I've got to admit, this new upcoming patch doesn't quite seem as big as I was hoping. I was hoping for a bit more buffs, a bit more fun, and as well the duplication thing. For me, I don't think that's the biggest concern at the moment. I think they need to change some of the drop rates and see how things go from there. But as always, guys and girls, let me know what you think. For all things gaming, for all things Xbox. Take care. I'll see you on next day.